Welcome to the Blackfarmers Cooperative, what? Say it together. Tea Party! Are y'all having a great time?
Yes.
Oh, is the food good?
Yes.
Yes. Do you like the presentations?
Yes.
And you know you got your Sunday first. That was potato salad, carrot tuna, and a grape tomato. That's like a Sunday. Yeah. And then we had what? Finger sandwiches. We had hot tea, iced tea, and you know we got what coming? Dessert. But before we do dessert, we have some young people here. Wave your hands. There's my baby girl here. There's my other baby girl, Imani. Come on, raise your hand. Amari. Come on, Brielle. And Ariana. And my Zoe. Raise your hand. Don't act. They're not shy, y'all. They're just acting up, you know how they do. But listen, we have one little activity. We have questions in here, which Amanda, raise your hand, Amanda, wrote most of them. So come on up here. You hold the basket, and I want to Amanda is the executive administrator for the Blackfarmers Cooperative. She is phenomenal.
Yes.
Yes. Here, Blackfarmers. Yeah, am I right? Yes. All the Blackfarmers, raise your hand. Woo! Look at them. Woo! Look at them. And we're moving forward, and we're having a great time. But we wanted a young person to volunteer to come up and pick a question, read it. Baby girl, come on. I knew she was going to do it. Just reach in there in the basket, and you're going to pick a question, and then you're going to read it. And I want to thank everybody for coming out. We really, really appreciate your support, and it's a pleasure to do these events. Okay, go ahead and read the question.
Understanding conflict. What are some common reasons why conflicts arise among friends or classmates?
Did y'all hear that question?
Yes.
I did.
Okay, do it and read it again.
Understanding conflict. What are some common reasons why conflicts arise among friends or classmates?
Why do we have, among our friends, conflict? Marilyn?
Sometimes we don't understand the issues that we're going to discuss. There's a saying that says something to the effect that we have to learn to understand before we can be understood. And when that understanding is not there, causes conflict.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Kristen?
A lot of times conflict comes from lack of communication.
Lack of communication. Yeah, and you got to understand, you have to be understood. Sometimes I ask people to give it back. Connie, you had a point.
Yes, I think sometimes jealousy too. Yes.
Absolutely.
A lot of times.
Yeah, jealousy.
And
Yes,
also just to be always right. You don't want to hear nobody else's opinion but their own.
Oh, I agree. So, the young people, under 15, you have any comments on that? Any kind of conflicts y'all have had? Yes, Amari.
A disagreement?
You've had disagreements in the classroom? And how did you handle it?
Well, in certain cases.
Yes, certain cases you did what?
Well,
You didn't come to blows, did you?
some, at least a couple of them.
A couple of them. Ooh, okay. But we're not going to do that again, are we? Okay. Amari, why don't you come up and pick a question, please? Come on, yeah. Take a question.
Drug and alcohol? What are some reasons you think teens might try drugs or alcohol?
You hear that? Some reason why teens might try drugs or alcohol. Yes, Imani?
Because they feel peer pressure from others, and they think in order to like fit in the group or like be cool with other people and like not try to start any drama, they gotta feel like they gotta fit in and they gotta like do certain stuff that they're not supposed to be doing. But the reason why they do it is because they feel left out.
So how would you handle it?
Sincerely, what I would do personally, I feel like I would just. It would be very hard for me. I'm gonna be honest. It would be very hard for me to say no because. So I would say just like walk away and don't concern those people because if they were really your friends, they wouldn't want to force you to do anything like that you know you're not supposed to be doing.
Did y'all hear her? If they're your friends, and Marilyn, raise your hand, how long have we been friends?
I know it's
66.
66.
66 years, best friends. Through everything. You know, so
And you were like sisters as we were
more like sisters. Yep, and that really does work. Charlene, you had a point. You wanted to say something. She said it? Yes, baby girl.
So maybe why is because a lot of teens take a lot of things from like certain social media points. I feel like some kids do the same thing, so they might want to like try it, but they don't know like the consequences or what's gonna happen in the future if they try it like too much times, and something might bad happen to you, like your lungs and everything, and something can like affect it or like make you get sent to the emergency room and like your heart stops doing whatever it's doing. So yeah.
Oh, very good.
And what would you do? Shakira, and you brought up a really good point. I really like the fact that you said not everything is for everybody, and different people's bodies react to things differently. So you may see someone have a sip, take a smoke, do whatever, and they're fine. You, on the other hand, could like, I don't know, go into like anaphylactic shock or something, you know what I mean? It's just like, you never know how your body's gonna react, and so it's probably best to just not, you know? And to your point, Imani, I really liked what you said when you mentioned if someone is truly your friend, they would never ask you to do something that you even seem like you're not okay with. And I really like that you mentioned that. So beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have a question
Yeah.
for the young. Who do some of you guys look up to, your role models? I know social media is not a good role model for you. Who in your life do you look up to?
Did y'all hear her in the back? She said, who are the, for the young people in the room, who are some of your role models and who do you look up to?
In person, not on social media.
Right, real life people. Anybody want to answer that? Go ahead. Can you hold the mic?
Sometimes like my parents or my sister, because she's older than me, because they treat me like their own, and they tell me stuff from right and wrong. So if I do something wrong, they'll tell me something that they did in the past, and then I'll understand what they say. So if I do anything like I knew my parents wouldn't do or didn't do in the past, I would take that for granted and do it myself because I feel like it's the right thing to do. And when I see people on like YouTube and stuff getting hurt and stuff, I don't want that to happen to me or to anybody else in the future because that's just not like okay for anybody to do. And if it would be a bad action and a bad role model, and it'll be a bad like like person to like show like a little kid something like that or do in front of somebody. Because when I see somebody do it, I just hold my breath so nothing happens to me either.
Right. Very good.
Brielle,
Very good. Thank you.
I want to bring Brielle. Yeah, go get a question.
Did anyone else want to answer that question in terms of who they feel are their role models? Go ahead, Amari.
So I feel like who's my role models is my older cousins and my aunt, because basically they tell me like to do better and like try to be a good person in life and like don't go through struggles and worry about school
Yeah.
and try my best to be successful in life.
Absolutely.
That's great. Y'all have those people. Oh, here we go. You pick one. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, just pick one of those questions in here. Let her, here, so you come over. And then you just pick the question you want to ask.
Can you share a time where you successfully resisted peer pressure? What did you do?
Yeah, just a little bit louder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Louder, Brielle.
Can you share a time where you successfully resisted peer pressure? What did you do?
Can you share a time when you successfully resisted peer pressure and what did you do? Okay. Does anyone want to answer that question?
When I was a child, I just said no.
Okay. Okay. When you said when you were a child, you just said no.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, cool.
Yeah.
But when you say that, young people just gonna realize that some people are not gonna want to be friends with you, and that's fine. Because they want to be negative, that doesn't mean you have to be negative. You can continue to be who you are and say no. It's okay.
Exactly. I was
She
gonna
got a
say.
question.
Martin.
A time,
Here, take. Here, one minute.
a time I didn't feel
Louder, Martin.
a time where I just didn't like I didn't I went against peer pressure was when I think I was like in second grade. A kid told me to like take a kid from another take their toy, and like, cause they didn't like it was one of my friends, well not really a friend, they just thought we were friends, and they told me to take a toy from a girl to get me in trouble, and I just said no because like I didn't want to get in trouble.
That's excellent.
That's great.
And Amari, that shows independent thinking. And I had that as a young girl. I would not let anyone influence me. If I said I was gonna get in trouble, it was because I decided I was gonna get in trouble.
That part.
Not somebody else.
Yeah, not for anybody else.
And I can remember, in high school, they said, Carol, we're going over so-and-so's house. I said, I'm going to class. And that was it, because my education was more important. Got to be an independent thinker.
You have to be a leader and not a follower.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's Kristen, right? Kristen, to your point, when you mentioned about earlier, someone asks you to do something and you say no, and so the fear is
Not being accepted.
the fear is not being accepted. And so guess what? You might lose some people if you say no, if you don't give in to that peer pressure. But guess what? Those were the people that aren't supposed to be in your life anyway. They're not actually your friend. Exactly. Exactly. So that's a quick way to cut some ties, to find out really and truly who's who. Imani?
And sometimes you might lose your life if you follow somebody to.
That's true. Yeah.
You don't get a second chance.
A person that I thought was my friend, she had offered me,
Here, come.
Come up here. You have a soft voice.
So the people in the back can hear you.
friends from school who I thought was my friend. Well, not from school, I just met her. She had asked me if I wanted to smoke with her, and I knew that I shouldn't be doing that because I'm really young and I don't want to mess up my lungs. And so I said no, and she got irritated and mad at me, but I also didn't really care. But it was also, she asked me in my house, and it was like, I'm not supposed to be doing that because like this is my house and I have to respect my house, and I don't really like the smell of that. And so I basically said no.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, yes.
Well, I have to go back years ago, but I remember in high school, sometimes that in crowd, it might be the cheerleaders, might be the one that's giving the big parties. That's the crowd that's on their way with 5 or 6 teenagers on their way for a wreck. It's a common story. They're the in crowd and, you know, all the, whatever, the most popular. And they bunch it up in a car, and many, I've heard a number of times that they have an accident, maybe 2 people die, the driver dies, they're drinking, they're smoking, and doing everything but watching the traffic and driving carefully. So sometimes it's best not to be with that group.
Exactly.
Absolutely. You guys have to understand, you're young, your mind doesn't stop developing until like
That's right.
20. So when you take drugs, it stops your developmental growth.
Absolutely.
It's very important to keep your minds clean, so you stay focused on what you need to do.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Was there someone?
Baby girl here. She has a point.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One time I was at school and one of my friends told me if I wanted to come to her house because she had like a big party and stuff. And then all these group of people just started surrounding me and got me all stressed and everything like that. So I was like, no, I don't want to go. And she was like, why? I said, I have to ask my parents first. Parents is first, obviously. She was like, I don't care. You have to come with me. And I was like, no, I don't want to, because my parents say I have to ask them first. So I just said no because she forced me, and I didn't even ask my parents because I know it was gonna be like a bad party. I was like, and I asked her if any parents were there, anybody like to keep me safe and anything. She was like, no, it's just a kids party. So I told her absolutely not.
What grade are you guys in?
Yeah, what grade? What grade?
Let's go down the line. What, Amari, what grade are you in? Or how old are you?
11.
11? Okay. And how old are you? 13? 12? 10.
And they're starting this early.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
having parties with just 10-year-olds? No chaperone? Oh my God.
Different generation.
Yeah. Wow, it's scary.
I was recovering.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Miss Sharice?
Oh, I was gonna say, we was in the house. One of the lessons that I learned and I teach middle school, so I teach 13 and 14-year-old girls. And not everybody that's good to you is good for you. And you wanna be with the people that are good for you and not good to you. And I remember my father saying to me when I was in high school, you don't have to be doing anything. All you have to do is be there. And that's it.
Yeah.
The cops.
Oh, yeah.
You were there.
Right.
You were there.
Yep.
If you're there.
Put in jail.
Okay.
And they have a firearm. You get a weed, you can charge people back.
Yeah.
You know, so you cannot be getting in people's cars, going with people you don't know, even people you do know. You have to follow what your parents have.
Yeah, because as far as the cars, my grandsons, I'm not getting in their cars. Because they sound like crazy. And then again, I don't know their story. I don't know what they did 3 days ago. Okay, I'm not getting caught up in that. That's right.
Now,
That's why I stepped in
like
line.
him.
Speak louder.
Come home and tell me. I don't know if you guys experience it. My son Denise, he would come home and say, well, he just told me this. He didn't tell me he was in school because he knew I would have went up there. He said, yeah, Mom, they bring guns in the school and they put them together in the bathroom. I said, why did you just tell me this now?
He said guns?
Yeah. They bring it, put this symbol, and they put it together in the restroom, so it won't go off in the metal detector. And that's how they bring guns to school. And he was in middle school.
Did you call the principal and tell them?
I'm gonna call him in school, because he just told me the school is closed when summer break. But when school opens back up.
More than that.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him and let them know.
He's in middle school right now?
He's going to high school.
Wow.
The school that he was going to, he told me about it.
We have an answer over here.
I just wanna say, we
Guns
have
could
reference
put
to
together and make
guns,
you
I was a principal. And even though we had the scanners, what the students would do, would leave their guns outside, go in, and then they find a way, because you can't lock the doors.
Right.
They got
And they would
sensors.
go out
Yeah,
and get them.
Right.
And I took a gun from a female, the gun was in her crotch. So it's very difficult, but as parents, you just have to speak up.
Yeah.
And then not opposed, a lot of parents, which surprised me, were opposed to scanners being in school. They didn't want those.
That was a big complaint.
Yes,
The parents
they
would
do
come
not
home
want
to the
them.
school,
Yes.
and I was like, oh, you guys finally put metal detectors.
What reason?
And they were upset. And I said, this is safety.
Your children like that.
But it's for their safety.
Yes.
Instead of looking at the big picture.
Right.
We had a young lady who wanted to make a comment.
I was at the park. I was at the park with my friends. So like my friend broke out like, I don't even know, it was like a vape or something, but I didn't know what it was. I was like, what was that? She was like, none of your business, stuff that I kept asking and stuff to that. She said it was a vape. I said, why do you have that? She said, she found it on the train tracks near Guilford. I said, I'm like, what? So she asked me if I wanted to take one. I said no.
Yeah.
Because if I die, it's gonna be my fault.
You did the absolute right thing, because vaping, it's an electronic cigarette, so you don't really know what chemicals you put in your body, let alone nicotine and everything else you add. This is just something else that's like worse on you guys' lungs. So they're trying to get rid of you guys, so don't even feed into it anymore, because it's not good for you. Right. There's going to be so many health problems that comes later on down the line from using these things. And you guys want to be clear, because you're possibly going to be helping the people that you said no to in the future. Being future doctors or scientists, whatever you choose to do. So you have to stay clean.
Comment back here.
Yes.
Yes, I'm pretty sure a lot of people here is aware of the toilet papers in the bathrooms. Don't use the toilet paper, you can bring your own toilet paper. Don't carry no purses.
I never heard about that, Rome.
Because people go in here and they do the inconvenience thing and then they use
Stick
it.
it up,
to
clean
it,
the needles in between the
So
toilet
they
paper.
tell the
Oh,
people
wow.
don't use
Yeah.
the restaurants' toilet paper, bring your own toilet paper.
Wow.
They clean it, they clean what? They syringes.
With the leaves on the road?
Yeah, they stick it in there, they leave it and stuff like that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Came out, I never.
You never heard of it? This has been going on. No.
Oh my God, but why don't, if they're gonna do that, why don't they throw the toilet paper away?
Why don't they throw it away?
Yeah, why don't they throw the toilet paper away after they clean the
No,
drain?
because you take it, you know how the toilet paper goes up?
Roll it.
They take it off.
They just stick it in because it's easy.
Yeah.
That's a real junkie right there. Yes, somebody's brain damage.
And you go downstairs to the public.
Wow.
Oh God,
Wow.
it was getting so bad.
Yeah, I had my certification.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
You
yeah.
you didn't need to hear this is going on.
Yeah, probably because I don't go out. I only go to church and work.
I haven't, well, I don't go out there much either, but I listen to the news, I never heard on the news, how'd you hear about it? So what?
I've heard about that. This is nothing new there.
So when you go to Reading, you go to some restaurant, you don't use the toilet paper? Is that what you're saying? You bring your own toilet paper?
Well, I always bring white
Let me see.
stuff with me.
For the young ladies, how do we choose?
Well, I guess I gotta start bringing to
Attention, please.
Well, I try not to use public.
Public,
Oh,
but if you look
period,
at
just
it.
because of germs.
Okay, go ahead. Read the question.
For the young ladies, how do we choose friends that are good for us and not just good to us?
Slow walking.
Yes,
God, I'm walking away from you.
that's right. Walk away from them.
How do you choose friends that are good for you and not just good to you?
What I do is I see if they do like anything that's like not if they do like something right to somebody else and they be nice to me, but I'm gonna have to like figure it out and stuff and ask them like some things that might concern them, but what I do is I just like walk up to them and stuff and I like ask, hi, how you doing and stuff. And if they like say something nice to me, but I like if I catch her like or him doing something wrong to somebody else, I know that's not the good friend to keep because they might say something different. They might say something to like my friend, and if they saw me and they knew that I heard it, they'd be like, oh, I'm just talking to someone on the phone or something different. I know that they're lying. So if they ask me if I have
One
proof,
red flag, right?
Right.
if they ask me if I have proof, I know I have proof because there's like security cameras all over the school. So I had one friend that was she was one of my best friends for like a long time. And then I saw her with one of my other friends, and she started treating her bad and stuff. And then I saw her with other of my friends and started saying like some not that good stuff. And then she only been nice to one of my friends that was really close to her. So I was like, why are you doing this? She was like, it's because I don't like them. I was like, just because they're your enemies doesn't mean you have to eat them.
Right.
It's because
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you saying that, you watch the way a person that you know, think could be your friend, you watch the way they treat other people? Did I hear you say that? Okay, that's
Yeah.
smart.
That's excellent. To answer that.
I think that what sometimes I do is I'm a really funny type person, and like anybody that I meet and that I connect with, like we have a good relationship. And sometimes what I do is like I like spend more time with them, like how my mom says, see how they are in the fall, the winter, the summer, the spring seasons. Yeah, see how they act towards other people, see how they talk towards their parents, and just like kind of like spend a little bit more time with them, seeing like how they are to, like how she was saying, how they are to their friends, how they are to other people, and like spend some quality time with them. Just because you meet them and just because you talk to them, that doesn't necessarily make them your friend. Because friendship, you don't gotta be best friends like right then and there, but like friendship is like you gotta talk to them, you gotta know them. Like I mean, you talk for like 5 minutes and y'all friends. I mean, you can be, but like for like a real good friendship, you gotta like learn about them over time. What their favorite color is, how they treat their parents, how they treat other people when you're not around, or if they talk behind your back when they are your so-called friends.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
How about if you have things in common with them or not? You know, do they like what you like and all those kinds of things? Does that matter?
Yes.
Does that matter?
Yeah. Oh, and another thing, a lot of times when your parents don't like a person, not that they don't like them, they feel this aura about when your parents say there's something about them that ain't right, take heed. Take heed. We've been there and we've done that. We're not trying to hurt our feelings, we're trying to run your life like that, but you have to be careful. We've been there, we've done that, and it's disrespectful when y'all just look at us and throw it over your shoulder.
Wisdom.
Yeah, we've been there, done that.
Discernment.
Very discernment.
And that means your boyfriend, your girlfriend, anything.
I'm gonna make a comment. One thing, to veggie back to what everyone is saying, is that we all don't have to touch the fire to know it's gonna burn.
Yeah, nice.
Right. That's all saying.
Yeah.
That's all saying. Watch and observe and see what's going on around you. Have an awareness of what's going on around you. And don't have to touch the fire every time, because you will get what? Burned.
And them blood blisters hurt.
Connie, we have a comment here.
Okay.
Well, just to piggyback off of what, what's name said, that you gotta slow walk. You really have to slow walk.
Everything and everybody.
What do you mean?
Everything and everybody.
What do you mean by that?
You know them by, each time that you're around them, and if stuff start coming out crazy, then you know
The
that.
people setting you up today, they setting you up.
Yeah.
Don't mean to scare you, but sometimes none of y'all need to be scared.
But you know what I live and what I live by, all that glitters is not gold.
Nice.
I raise my nieces, I told them that too. I don't care how it looks, but dig deeper.
But I can't stress this enough, when your parents don't like a person, take heed. I can't stress that enough.
There's a reason.
It's a catch to that.
I'd like to do something just real quick, just take a minute. Give us some sayings that they can hear. Because I've been around young people and I'll say things, don't count the chickens before they hatch. All right, give me help. Go ahead.
People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. You just need to know the difference.
Exactly.
One of the things that my mother would say to me, I would say, ask her if I could do something, and she would say no, and I would tell her so-and-so did, a friend of mine. And she'd say, okay, if they jump off a bridge, are you gonna do it?
Right, that's the main one.
All right. Christian.
Love yourself before you can love others.
Christian,
Love yourself before you can love others.
love yourself before you can love others. Birdie,
I've heard, since I was young, birds of a feather stick together.
Yeah.
If they're thieving and doing wrong, stay away. Stay away from them.
Here's one. Don't leave the porch if you can't run with the dog. With the little dog. Right.
Others as they do unto you.
And don't do the
That's a
crime
good
unless
one.
you can do the time.
Oh,
Yes, that's a good one.
anybody else? Yes.
Treat others as they do unto you.
Treat others as you want them to treat you.
The golden rule.
Golden rule. Any other sayings? What about the hot cold, the color black?
Black.
Oh, Diana?
Yes, my father used to say, don't get too big for your britches, you can smell yourself.
Yeah.
That means check yourself and your attitude.
Yes.
And how you govern yourself.
Yeah.
Like you have to check yourself.
And then some parents just got this one thing they do, they ain't gotta say nothing.
That's
Right?
right.
I was 12 when my dad
Wait a minute, y'all, wait a minute.
When I was 12, and my dad said, if you want to play adult games, you have to pay adult consequences. And my grandmother always told me, if you lay down with dogs, you're going to get a
Come on, anymore.
My father used to say, a bird flies high, but he must come down to the ground to eat.
Yes. Sure, come down, yes.
My father would say to me, I'm the adult, you're the child.
We're the adults, y'all the children. All right, anything else? We good? All right.
We have a comment from the young lady.
So I would know if their girlfriend is because, like,
Now
so
they're,
I would know if they're a good friend because, like, I know I learned from the past. Cause like if you're in kindergarten and stuff, you don't know no better, and like if something happens, you'll know better next time. And then like if like when you meet somebody and you might want to be their friend, you have to talk to them and see like the things you have in common with them and things that you think like you should be hanging around them. So like think. So amount of things that happen. So if you have amount of things that like you don't like about them, and amount of things you do like about them. So if the dislikes are more than the comments, then I just don't be friends with them.
Awesome, yeah. All right, she played that nice.
we got one more.
Come on,
One thing that,
So we can hear.
one thing that my father said to us repeatedly, if you don't have something good to say about a person, don't say anything. And that way, it can't come back to bite you. That was-
Yeah.
Nobody said, "Don't say anything."